So welcome back to more Mega Man X3, and last we left off we took out 2 Mavericks, but now I gotta go back to Blizzard Buffalo stage. And yeah, I'm not sure how often I'm gonna keep calling him Blizzard Buffalo, but that's just a brain scratch joke. So I think I'll just leave it there. The stage does have a stage effect, kinda like X1 did, where if you beat full catfish, some of the ice is melted and some of the lights are activated. But right now what I'm doing is just breaking some blocks with this tornado thing. And pretty much all this is just a big drill. And you just get to break stuff with it. And this actually does become a really useful weapon down the road. So let's just get out of here with the exit function. So now that we're done with that, let's head over to Blast Hornet stage. I think this is probably one of the few guys with a pretty cool anime cutscene. But I mean, there are other Let's Plays that have done that, but since I am playing the SNES version, I'm just gonna stick with this. And Blast Hornet stage takes place in an airplane hangar. It is a pretty generic stage compared to some of the other ones, like in X2. And, see, the biggest thing you do have to worry about is getting shot by missiles. And that is something that's going to be a recurring theme in this game. Let's see, I just need to go up here. See, if you go up here, there's a pod you can use to activate ride armor. But we haven't gotten the ride armor yet, and we actually are going to get that in this stage. Oh, and up here there is a chip you can get. It actually is the energy chip, but two things with those chips. Number one, you have to have the right respective part in order to activate it, and number two, you can only activate one chip at a time. So what we're going to do is just wait until there's a Dr. Light capsule later on that lets you activate all 4 chips at once, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And with this mini-boss, all he does is just spin around and then occasionally try and attack you. You know, whenever you just let him. Kinda like the... oh, I played that pretty badly. Let's see, after that he's just going to spin up and then try and ride the walls. I mean, overall this guy's not that tough, just don't be an idiot like him like I did. And, yeah, after that you just get a power-up. Always good. And right here is the area where you're going to find the ride armor. And the thing with the ride armor is there are modifications you can find. But you do have to have the original ride armor first, which kind of don't like that idea. And I don't really think anybody does, because few people go to Blast Hornet stage this early. And also the tornado thing is needed here. But not too many people go to Blast Hornet stage early. In fact, they say this is actually one of the last ones they take on. And as a result, they can't have ride armor for most of the game. And it actually would have been better, like, if you found the respective armors in the stage that they were in, and then you can just activate them whenever they wanted. I actually think that would have worked out a little bit better. But now what we're doing here is just, you know, it's a ride armor, it's a standard dash, bash, and smash things. And, yeah, let's see, this is a pretty good training session for the ride armor. And also this thing does get a health bar, unlike the first 2 Mega Man X games. Alright, finally smashed the thing. And the good thing about this minigame is that it does let you practice like your timing, which is clearly not right with me. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, and also, this is a pretty easy part. I mean, you can't really get hurt or anything, or you can't get killed or anything, but it is there, you know, just for fun. And also, this does affect Gravity Beetle stage later on. Let's just wait for this guy. So now that that's done with, let's just jump up here. And then find myself a heart tank. So let's see, that should be 3 heart tanks right now. And also, this is one of the doors where you can find either Bit or Bite and then you have to fight them. I think the order it goes is that when you're on, or after you've beaten 3 Mavericks, the next guy you visit will have Bit. And then after you beat 5 Mavericks, the next guy you have will have Bite. I think that's how that goes. And also, I will talk more about Bit and Bite later on. But if you have their weaknesses, you can take them out for good. And that is actually something I didn't know about for the longest time. But, I'll get more into that when we're actually fighting them. I'm just gonna let Zero take care of the rest of the stage here. Just because we are pretty close to Blast Hornet and I don't feel like getting hurt on the way. And of course, because this is a boss fight, Zero cannot fight him. And going back to the whole switching out thing, I think Mega Man Extreme 2 was one game that did actually get that right, between switching between X and Zero. And then it wasn't until Mega Man X8 where it was really perfected. But here we are at Blast Hornet stage, and what he likes to do is he likes to send his, I guess, mini wasplings after you. And sometimes he does like to try and sting you with his giant stinger. And really what he does is he flies in a figure 8 pattern. And okay, I'm gonna get hit. Yeah, the good news is you can take out those mini wasps with the charged X-Buster shot. And then eventually he starts to change up his pattern, and you will be chased by this bomb. And whenever that bomb gets a hold of you, the mini wasplings will track you down. And let's see, I was trying to see if you could shoot that thing. Turns out you can't. Let's see, I'm getting closer here. And that is the end of Blast Hornet. I also like how they have that copter in the background. And the backgrounds of this game are actually pretty well done. Then again, this was 1995, so they kind of figured it out by then. And here we get the parasitic bomb, and what this does is that this sends a bomb at enemies, of course, and sometimes with the weaker enemies it can wrap or it can latch onto them, and then it can send them after other Reploids, or other enemies. And it is actually particularly useful for those flying missile shooters. But instead of that, we're going to head over to Neon Tiger stage. And Neon Tiger stage is going to be the jungle stage, and I mean, this is a pretty basic stage, and there's a lot of spikes you have to watch out for. There are also some annoying enemies, but let's see, there really isn't too much that should give you trouble, well, except for the boss, and I was pretty close to dying there. And again, I did try to get fancy and jump over the thing. Let's see, I want to get up here and find myself another sub-tank, always good. Let's see, I want to just blast this thing. Okay, well, thanks for the ride, Mr. Dragonfly. Yeah, I'm trying to bait these things out in order to shoot them. And you do have to get inside those things in order to shoot them. That's kind of how it works. Kind of like the Mace Ball Shield Knight from Mega Man X. Except it's actually a lot more annoying because it is harder to hit these things. And also, they do take a lot more hits. So let's just break this thing. And let's see, go up here and find Dr. Light. And the biggest difference with this, X-Buster upgrade is that, well, that was weird. The biggest difference is that, instead of shooting 2 of the same shot, or 2 similar shots, it shoots one, kind of wavy shot and then one big shot. And then if you shoot them both at the same time, you get that effect where, it looks cool, but it's really not all that practical when you think about it. So let's just keep going here. And then let's just get going. And this is going to be an encounter with a mini-boss, and there's another glowing thing in the background. Not really sure what they're trying to do. See, this centipede is pretty easy to deal with. You do have to just worry about those mines. That is something that can be an issue. And, see, the pattern is pretty predictable. Of course, unless he completely catches me off guard like he did there. That says hit you. And, see, this guy does take quite a few hits to, take out. And I'm just trying to hit him with bigger shots here. And see, that's really all there is to this guy. He is pretty simple. And go figure, I got hit when, you know, I was trying to hit him. I mean, I got hit when I was taking care of that charge shot. Yeah, unfortunately, some of these fights drag on for a bit. Which will no doubt happen when we get to Neon Tiger, but I'll do that explaining when, or the more we get into it. Okay, now that that's done with, let's just get going here. And up here is going to be one of the platforms where you can use ride armor. So let's just get this guy going. And it does make things a lot easier because, well, it makes things easier when it screws up your timing. Yeah, I just want to dash and hit these guys. And, yeah, this part's pretty simple, but it is really easy to lose a lot of health here. But let's get the frost shield up because, let's see, this should be where I face bite. And it turned out it's not. Way to make a liar of me, game. Yeah, here I thought I was gonna run into Bit, but turns out I didn't. Then again, maybe it is completely random. Who knows? But what I'm gonna do is just get Zero here, just because I think part's a little bit easier with Zero because you got these guys that like to chew up the ground and form spikes. Fortunately, the spikes don't kill you, but they can be a pain to tread across. And also, these guys will do a ton of damage to you if you touch them, so just don't touch them. Let's see, I gotta wait for this thing now. Where'd you go? There you are. Alright, let's go here. And of course I gotta get X back in order to get this heart tank. So now that's 4. And Neon Tiger's weakness is the spinning blade, but I am gonna try and take him out with the X-Buster. And unfortunately that's not a very good idea with the way this boss fight is. And the thing with Neon Tiger's boss fight is that he does do these things where he shoots at you. And then hopefully that's the only thing he does, because on the third one you jump and then that's it. And yeah, the thing with Neon Tiger's boss fight is he's pretty good at blocking your shots. So it's pretty easy to get blocked over and over again. Okay, well that just will not do. And I end up getting slashed, that's never any good. Yeah, those claws are pretty powerful, so kinda don't want to get killed by those things. Man, almost jumped into one of those. So just wait for the third one. It's always the third one. Just trying to do, and also, like, right when he changes up his pattern. And I'm just gonna use this now, even though I didn't really want to, but what can you do? Let's see. What he should be doing soon is, he should be using, this charge attack with his claws. And, let's see, the problem with that is that it takes a really long time to, kill him, because it's really easy for him to block the shots, and also you can't hurt him when he's in that form. Yeah, the thing with X3 is that it is actually a lot harder at first, because you start off weak as usual, and then it's also really easy for the bosses to do a lot of damage to you early on. I mean, I didn't want to use that sub-tank, but I felt like I was gonna end up getting killed and didn't want to do that boss fight over again. But instead I got the Race Splasher, and what the Race Splasher does is just a rapid fire weapon. And now for our last Maverick for today, and that is going to be Gravity Beetle. And Gravity Beetle's another example of how the Maverick fights, or the Maverick boss fights, are way too easy with their weaknesses, but then way too hard without them. And the reason for that is just this well weapon he shoots. So let's just get going here. And notice the change here. These guys used to be red, but now they're green, and the reason for that is this is a Blast Hornet stage effect, where the enemies just change depending on who you beat. Alright, let's just get going here. I want to get over here because there is a heart tank, and this actually would have been blocked off by blocks if you went here without beating Blast Hornet, which is kind of odd considering that Blast Hornet is weak against the gravity well. Let's just go here. Alright, I gotta run into bit here. Or that might be the next one. Not really sure. Yep, there you are. Yeah, I don't think those were your orders. Your orders were to bring me in alive, you jerk. And basically what Bit does is he likes to charge at you. Big surprise. He also likes to shoot this homing shot, which it's pretty tough to avoid sometimes. And also he likes to throw these rings that trap you. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this fight. And since he is weak against a frost shield, he is going down for good. And that is one thing I didn't know for the longest time, is that you can actually kill the second generation of X Hunters. And so I just ended up fighting them the same way. If you didn't use the frost shield, what would happen is he would say, well, next time we meet, you won't be so lucky, or something like that. And then you'd have to fight him again in Doppler's castle. But with that, we don't have to fight Bit anymore, so either of these guys are just terrible X Hunters. Okay, why am I not going up here? There we are. Yeah, see, that is the frog modification of the ride armor. And what that does is it allows you to use ride armor underwater, because the other ones will just be destroyed completely. And then the one thing I forgot to mention is if you get a ride armor destroyed, you can't use it again for the rest of the stage. So now I get to go up another elevator. Let's just kill this thing. And see, there might be a way you can run into another mini boss here. Not really sure if you can though. Alright, let's just keep going here. See, where is that elevator again? Now it should be here pretty soon. Not really sure if this is a mini boss room, but I don't really care. Instead, I want to go up here and use my ride armor. And also, if you do use frog on one that's too close to land, or there's too much land, it immediately jumps back and goes into the platform, and it does allow you to select something else, so that's always good. These jumps are a little tricky. Yeah, you have to dash and then jump when you're at the edge. And let's see, this should be a place where the arm chip is, but you can tell where the chips are by them being in a pink Dr. Light capsule instead of a blue one. But I just wanted to show that off, because with that we're heading up to Gravity Beetle soon. Alrighty, let's just get going here. Alright, now that we're here, Gravity Beetle's weakness is going to be the Race Splasher. I'll just go ahead and get that up. And his pattern is pretty basic. He's gonna jump forward and then try and shoot a gravity well at you. That thing gets bigger the more walls it hits. And let's see, it does do a ton of damage, and then of course, because this is Mega Man X3, he occasionally charges at you too. Yeah, I just wanted to show off that will because I don't feel like getting hit by it. Because that thing does a ton of damage if you let it. And this is one guy I never was able to beat with the X-Buster, and one reason for that is because his weapons are just that mean. And also, this is a modified version of the Gravity Will. And I just wanted to show that off. Oh, with all that said, Gravity Beetle is done for. Let's just go ahead and watch him explode, and then celebrate. Because that's what good Maverick Hunters do after killing Mavericks. And here you get the Gravity Well. It's kinda hit or miss with its uses. I mean, it butchers the hell out of Blast Hornet, but it does have one use to get the armor, which we're actually gonna get in the next part. But I'll get to that in the next part. But outside of that, I don't really find that weapon all that useful. Well, with all that said, I'm gonna call it a video, so join me next time as I take out the rest of the remaining Mavericks. See you soon.